What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do the June monthly manifestation. Okay, for you guys. I hope you guys have been doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. If you guys are not familiar with the monthly manifestations, basically, this is the video for you to look at primarily before the next month comes out. I try to get these done before the next new moon, and these monthly manifestation videos are going to be a little bit wonky for the rest of the year because how the new moons are falling. Most of the months are going to have two new moons in it. Okay. And so I was briefly before the video kind of marking down the dates and everything to share with you guys, as I always do. And I will put them down in the description box below so that way you know what's to come as far as the months and how the days fall and the moon cycles fall. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of you. Some of you, some of the collective, may feel a lot of pressure on you to get things done and completed as far as your goals go. Okay. So, with that being said, before we actually get into the reading, I'm going to just go over some notes with you guys. Like I said, primarily I always give you guys the dates so that way you can kind of flow through and kind of give yourself your own little progress report. Okay. So this again, this video is primarily, in this reading, is to help you manifest whatever your intentions are for the month. Okay. Whether it be personal goals or something material wise, such as a purchase or a business plan, whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, this is what this video is for. Okay. To kind of help you stay on track. Okay. So want you guys to remember that, again, there are two new moons in the month of May. Okay. May 30th, okay, was and is the last new moon. Okay. Going into June. Okay. Let's see. I have it on my card here. I was about to go look at my calendar. The last new moon beforehand was April 30th. There was a new moon on April 30th before another new moon in May. Okay. So, continuation of May 30th going into June. Okay. Are you centered and focused on your goals? Okay. Have you addressed what you've been neglecting to deal with? Okay. These are things that I want you to really think about. Okay, collective. And as the 5th of the month, May, being the 5th month of the year, have you considered what changes are needed in your life? Okay. That's what I want the collective to focus on in the month of May, leaving out of May, going into June. Okay. Each cycle, each moon cycle, the ones that matter the most, we're not focusing on the last quarter moon. I don't focus on that. Okay. I want you guys to focus on the new moon, first quarter moon, and the full moon. Okay. And this is for those that are not familiar. Okay. For your new moon, that is where you pretty much lay out your plans. Anything that you're trying to work on, build on, heal from, things of that nature, that should be your primary focus. Okay. On your new moon. On the first quarter moon, that is where you have your progress report. It's like your halfway point through your goal or your intention or your healing process. Okay. So that's the time for you to stop, reevaluate, do whatever you need to do during that first quarter moon in order to make the progress flow. Okay. And then on the full moon, you should either see progress or be done with your goal. Okay. So again, this is kind of a way to kind of hold you accountable. Okay. With manifestation, you have to do the work in order to see what's coming. Okay. To see or have what you want manifest. Okay. So prime example, for some, if you're trying to or know you need a new car, your car's been acting up and you need a new car, there's no more trying to put money into it to get it to, be that same car that it's always been, then it's time for you to what? Start shopping for another car. What kind of car do you want? How many miles do you want on it? That's your research plan. That's your new moon. Okay. By your first quarter moon, you should be realizing, okay, you should have narrowed it down to a couple of cars, maybe 3 different dealerships that you want to, scout for the car, things of that nature. What prices you're trying to pay, that's where you need to start reevaluating, figuring out if this is really the car for you or if that's the dealership that you want to deal with. By the time, and then also considering money wise, where's your first down payment going to come in at? Now, for a new car, you could decide to do a trade in, and maybe that'll be less money that you have to drop on the new car. Or are you willing to go ahead and save some money up? How much money are you willing to drop on your down payment? Are you trying to do 2,500 or are you trying to do more to make sure your payments are low? What kind of payments do you want to deal with? Things of that nature. If that means you got to save up money, then you need to figure out how long will it take for you to save up that 2,500, okay? And so if it's going to take you 3 months to save up that 2,500, save up that money, and then within 3 months, that means you need to keep on setting a goal for yourself every month, that when the next first quarter moon comes, what's your progress report? How much money have you saved? Things of that nature. Have you changed your mind about what car you want? Okay, that is obviously possibly channeled for somebody, okay? But I didn't want to go too long on what you should be doing on each one, but that's for those who are not familiar with these videos. I do these every month before each new moon, if possible, okay? And like I said, they're going to kind of fall before. I'm probably going to put them out before, since there's a new moon damn near every month at the end of every month this year. Okay. So whatever is in the collective's energy, it needs to be cleaned out. Okay. Either you have something that you need to heal from, or you need to start setting new goals for yourself. Okay. Have to put into consideration, we've had this pandemic. Most of us have been in the house. I know I've been quarantined pretty much in my house for 2 years. Okay. I have been teleworking, and it took me a while to kind of get used to it, but it gave me time to focus on things that I want to work on. And so, with that being said, I'm always manifesting as far as for my shop, readings for you guys, things of that nature. So, I'm always working on something. Okay. And so, I think this is the year for everybody to really hunker down and figure out what you want to do with your life, or what goals you want to set, okay? And or things you want to achieve, or what you want to heal from, okay? And stop neglecting it, okay? If anything, the pandemic has made people focus on a lot of things. It's put a spotlight on a lot of stuff, okay? As far as connections with friends, family, yourself, personal growth, things of that nature. Okay. So that being said, let's get back to these notes, these points, okay, that I want you to focus on. Okay. So again, that's for the month of May, the last new moon. Last new moon, those are the things that I need you guys to focus on. Okay. By that time on June 7th, okay, I'll be back for regular readings then, okay? But by the first quarter moon, I need the collective to take the time to think about these few points here. Are you still working on your intended goal? Okay, whatever, if you've been following these monthly manifestations since I really started getting, um, I think March, I came back with them and have been pretty much consistent since March to now. Okay, are you still working on that intended goal? Whatever it is you could be working on if you've been following these readings. Okay, if not, you need to set a goal. Okay, first quarter moon, really 30th of May, you have a chance to set whatever your new goal is, okay, or intention. Okay, have you made any progress? If you did make some a goal, an intended goal for yourself, have you made any progress since then? Okay, since you've done it. Um, Consider making any necessary adjustments now, okay? On June 7th, you need to make some adjustments, okay? There could be some adjustments that need to be done, maybe something, listen to your gut, okay? If you're feeling that something you possibly wanted to do isn't going to work out, then try to redo it in some type of way, reevaluate, make some changes, however or whatever needs to be done. Okay, and that's on the 7th. That's your first quarter moon, that's your halfway point. Okay, so then full strawberry moon. Okay, it's a full strawberry moon that is on June 14th. Okay, by that time, month of June period is usually when, for the gardeners, is usually when strawberries are ready to be harvested. Okay, and so they're at their best in June. Okay, um, as of the 6th month, since this will be the 6th month of the year in June, it's time to reevaluate. Okay, 6 means to take a step back and to really say, okay, what needs to change, what do I need to get rid of, things of that nature. Okay, maybe you're purging, cleaning out your house, cleaning out the garage, maybe rechanging some things in your house, um, whatever it may be. You could be purging spiritually, you could be purging emotionally, mentally. What are things that you just don't need to be focusing on right now? Okay, are you ready for a new beginning? Because that's what the full strawberry moon is talking about, is preparing for new beginnings. We're talking about getting into summer. Okay, what is it that you want to do differently? I know for me myself, I went and got a stepper. I love ellipticals. When I used to be in the office, I kind of started doing like 15 minutes on the elliptical during my breaks, and then 15 maybe on my lunch if I was really feeling it. And I went on ahead and I said, you know what, I need something for myself. And I want to start getting, a little bit more healthy and things like that. So, and getting more exercise. So, like today, excuse the hair, but I went walking today. I went walking today and it was a really nice day. It was nice, sunny. It was nice and warm. I got some errands done and then came in the house and I was good to go. And so, definitely feeling it in my quads, but it was well needed and it felt really good to get out, and get some sun. So those are just, my personal goals that I'm doing myself. And so the question you need to ask yourself, are you ready for a new beginning? Because that's what the strawberry full moon is calling for you to do. It's personal growth. It's time for you to really hunker down and figure out what it is that you want to start anew with. Okay. And so the last thing that you need to kind of focus on the 14th, on that full moon, is time for final plans to be implemented. Okay. That thing you've been wanting to do for the longest of time that you keep putting off, or you keep jotting down little, notations and things like that. It's time for you to do it. Okay. You've had a couple of months or maybe a few weeks to really mull it over. You need to make a final decision on whether or not you're going to do it, or if you're going to keep working on it. Okay, to get it to a point where it will be time to implement it eventually. Okay, but for my collective that's already been working on something, should be ready to implement by now. Okay, so You should, with that being said, progress should be instant or starting. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you may have a business and you've started something new or implemented something new to your business. Okay. You should start seeing progress from it. Okay. If you've set up classes for people to take to learn something from you and you're teaching classes, you should be getting enrollment right now. Okay. That also goes for anybody who's in college, possibly. And maybe starting online classes or going to college, or preparing to go to college right now. Your classes, you should know your classes, your teachers, all of that, your instructors, whatever the case may be. Okay. But progress should be instant or starting right now if you've already implemented your plans. Okay. Another thing that I want you guys to focus on the 14th is charge your crystals if you do deal with any crystal work. Okay. Um, Charge your crystals under the full moon that night. Okay. On the 14th. Okay. And if you can, charge them for what you want to occur. So if you want to center yourself, charge your crystals from the 14th and 2 additional days. So for 3 days, you should be, or 3 nights per se, you should be charging your crystals. Okay. If you want to center yourself, if you want to see change and promote change around yourself and your environment, then you should charge your crystals for 5 days. Okay. If you wear bracelets like I do, any crystal bracelets, you should do the same. Okay, with your bracelets, they need to be charged as well. Okay, whatever your intention is. And if you wear your bracelets on a consistent basis, then usually 3 days is really all you need for bracelets. But your crystals, your standalone crystals, you could let charge for 3 to 5 days. Okay. Um, on top of that, when you, on that particular night, while you're charging your crystals, meditate if you can in silence for however long you can meditate for. Usually, for beginners, I would suggest 10 to 15 minutes. For intermediate, I would say about 15 to 30. And if you are more of an advanced spiritualist, then I would suggest an hour or overnight. Okay, I prefer overnight because that's when your body is at its full rest and you can kind of take things in a little bit better. Okay. You can do it in silence or you can listen to some type of beats or actual meditation, and you can check my playlist for different meditations. I'm slowly adding more to it. Okay. Another thing you could do is write out whatever comes to mind. It could come to you during your meditation. Just a thought could just burst right into your head. Write it down. Okay. If you go to sleep and something you dream about, wake up, write it down. Okay. That you consider as a full moon ritual, if you will. Okay. That's what I do during my full moon rituals. And sometimes I have new moons too. I do the same thing with my new moons. I don't charge my crystals, but I do have a tendency to sit at my desk and write out any new ideas or things of that nature that I want to work on. Okay. So lastly, we then have on June 28th, we have a new moon yet again before going into July. Okay. And so you need to take into consideration, you need to continue to be optimistic towards your goals. Okay. Are you being realistic with the goals that you've set? Okay. Be honest with yourself. Okay. Are you willing to face the truth? That is another thing you need to focus on, collective. Okay. Depending on if you're working on personal growth, you need to face the truth. Okay. And like I said, be very honest with yourself. Make sure your goals are realistic and achievable. So that way there's no hiccups. Okay. If there is, it's okay, but you set a goal that you know you can achieve. Okay, don't set something that, it's like a New Year's resolution. We all say, oh, I want to lose weight next year. And what happens? Keep on eating them donuts. Okay. So it's time to hold yourself accountable and say, okay, I'm the problem. Okay. You have to make those hard, difficult decisions of taking accountability and just saying enough is enough, and having the courage to face the truth. Okay, even if you don't like it. Okay, and then make sure you pace yourself and remember why you're doing it. Okay, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whether it be personal or material, remember why you're doing it. What is the purpose of it? Okay, if you do that with your goals, then there should be no issues. Okay, so that being said, hopefully those notes are, helpful to you guys. We're at 2045, and so now it's time to actually get into the reading itself. So I'm gonna bring this down just a bit so that way you can see the deck right in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle for you guys, and we're gonna get into the reading. Okay, but those are usually, it was a lot that I had to cover within June's monthly manifestation. And like I said, I will put the dates below so that way you guys can, keep track of those. By all means, you can get yourself a farmer's almanac, which has all of the cycles of the moon in it, along with some other facts as well, especially if you're like a gardener, or if you know someone that's a gardener. It's a good gift for them, or is just into plants. And it has other fun facts in there as well. You could also, if you frequent your local crystal shop, they may have a calendar, a moon phase calendar. You can ask them if they do. And I know one here in Richmond where I am, Aquarian is one that usually has one. So you can always go to them. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get these cards out. Okay. They're going to be 3 cards. We'll refer to the bottom of the deck at the end to see what the final outcome is, but each one has a specific question with it. So we're doing one from the top as usual, one from the top, one from the bottom, and one energetically from the middle. If I can get the one that I actually want. Okay. And then we'll refer to the bottom of the deck momentarily to see what the final outcome is. Okay. So the first question is, what should be the mindset towards your intention or goal? Okay. And this is for the new moon. Okay. So this is considered the new moon of May. Okay. Not the last new moon on the 28th. Okay. This is kind of May. Because we don't want to jump ahead. Okay. So what do you need to release? What do you need to release, collective? Can y'all see? Can y'all see? Okay. What do y'all need to release? Okay. This is the waning moon. I don't pay attention really to the moon cycles on the card. I'm primarily focusing on the 3 that we specified at the beginning. Okay. So again, on the 30th, you need to be considering, what do you need to release? Okay. Again, are you centered and focused on your goals? Have you addressed what you've neglected? Okay. To deal with. There's something that you're neglecting, okay, or someone is neglecting in the collective, okay, whether it be personal or spiritual, whatever the case may be. There's something you're neglecting, okay, and consider what changes are needed in your life, as May is the 5th month. Okay, so before you go into June, There's something you need to release, okay? So let's move to the second card, okay? Will or have you made any progress? This is in reference to the first quarter moon, okay? First quarter moon, it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, okay? I don't normally mention signs unless necessary, okay? But it says the end of a tough cycle approaches, okay? Could be some truth, okay? As we said, this question goes with the first quarter moon, which is on the 7th, okay? The 7th of June. End of a tough cycle approaches. Are you still working towards your intended goal? Have you made any progress? Okay. Whatever progress you've made, it's probably been a really tough cycle for you as far as coming to truth about some things. Okay. And again, make any necessary adjustments now. Okay. Do not wait. Whatever you see needs to be changed, you need to change it. Okay. And that includes coming to truth and being honest with yourself about something. Okay. So that way that tough cycle ends, okay? The end of a tough cycle approaches, okay? So, lastly, has or is the intention or goal been or being achieved, okay? Is your goal or intention being achieved? Balance, spirituality, and practicality, okay? Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Remember what I said. This is in reference to the full moon on the 14th of June. Okay? So, are you focused? Again, kind of reiterating that practicality, realizing what you're doing it for, what your intention is for, what your goal is for. Okay? And again, spirituality and practicality, centering yourself. Like I said, you need to meditate on the 14th. If you're not familiar with meditation, by all means, I have beginner meditations. There's not that many of them because they're very small. It's a very small list. I'll see if I can find some more for you guys, okay, and add them as needed. But they're very simple. You can even listen to one of the longer ones, primarily the positive affirmations. You can check that playlist. I have a few of those in there, and you can just listen to those for 10 minutes at a time. Set a timer for yourself. If all you can do is 10 minutes, then by all means, that's all you need to do. Especially if you just need some motivation in your life, okay, and just need to hear some good words. Those are usually my go-tos. Sometimes whenever I need some positive motivation and affirmations, if I can't think of any of my own, I listen to those, and they're guided. So you hear someone actually talking to you, okay? And so try listening to those, okay? And remember to just write out whatever comes out to your mind, okay? Because it will benefit you, whether it be spiritually or mentally or towards your materialistic goals, okay? But be practical, okay? Be practical. Don't try to push yourself too hard into something that you're not used to. If you're not a real advanced spiritualist and you're just getting into it, don't push yourself too hard, okay? And just make sure you're resting, things of that nature, resting your mind primarily, not so much your body, but your mind, okay? So, with that being said, again, remember, are you ready for a new beginning? Time for final plans to be implemented. Progress should be instant or starting, okay? So, balance your spirituality and practicality as you're going through your goals, okay? Lastly, let's look at the bottom of the deck so we can see what the outcome is, okay? The outcome, haha, that's what I'm talking about. Collective, you are close to achieving your goals. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear, okay? Collective, you are close to achieving your goal. Y'all saw me shuffle. Did y'all not see me shuffle? I shuffled. Ain't no games here. I am here to help you guys manifest, okay? Like I said, manifestation only works if you put in the intention towards your goals, okay? So, whatever it is you're trying to work on, whether it be healing, whether it be purchasing something, whether it be relationship, whatever the case may be, you have to do some work, okay? Mentally, spiritually, physically, you have to do the work in order for you to see things manifest, okay? And you have to stay as optimistic as you possibly can. I know it's hard because trust and believe you me, your girl be going through it, okay? I be going through it sometimes too, where I be like, you know what? Bump this, okay? And I'm saying that in the lightest way possible because I don't say bump. I be saying all kinds of curse words up in here. But I try to stay as optimistic as I possibly can. And if I can't stay optimistic, then I don't say anything at all. Okay? That's just my take on how I deal with things. Okay? So I want the best for you guys, and I really want to see you guys win in life. And I want you guys to come out of this pandemic stronger than you were going into it, okay? Because we are all struggling mentally and emotionally and spiritually, okay? So, with that being said, that is all that I have for you guys for this monthly manifestation. I can't wait. If you want, you can share your goals as they are being achieved with me on these readings. I would love to know what you guys have manifested, and if you have reached your goals, I would love to know. Don't have to know. You don't have to tell me exactly what your goal is, but you can tell me if you've achieved it. That would be great. But nonetheless, you know, I'm happy and proud of you guys for whatever achievements you have accomplished, whether it be mentally, physically, or spiritually. Okay. So, with that being said, your girl's out. I will be back on June 7th, okay, with your regular collective readings. So, until then, peace.